Before exposing you to the kaleidoscope funhouse of chaos magic, we must clarify what we mean by magic. The occult use of this term differs from magic depicted in movies, television, fantasy novels, and video games. Magic, in this context, is a spiritual practice that harnesses the forces of the universe to bring about desired changes in the practitioner's life. Unlike the silly and sometimes grandiose spells in fantasy movies that defy natural laws, real magic is deeply rooted in willpower, intention, and the manipulation of subtle energies. It is about understanding the relationship between the macrocosm and the microcosm. Aleister Crowley defined magic as the science and art of causing change to occur in conformity with will. Can't help but roll my eyes a bit as I write this, not because Crowley's definition isn't important, but because it is quoted so often. If the occult had a selection of pre-made welcome mats, this would be one of the standard options at your local metaphysical shop. Magic is not about waving a wand and instantaneously transforming one's reality. It can be seen as aligning one's will with natural and spiritual laws to create the reality one wishes to experience. Dion Fortune, another influential occultist, often quoted, described magic as the art of causing changes in consciousness in accordance with will. This definition emphasizes the psychological dimension of magic. By altering one's states of consciousness, the practitioner is able to tap into different planes of existence to make changes in the material world. Fortune's perspective also implies that magic is as much about personal transformation as it is about external manifestations. Anton LaVey believed that magic is like nature itself, and successful magicians know that it is impossible to command the forces of nature. One can only direct and assist them in doing their will. This suggests that true magic works in harmony with natural forces rather than seeking to dominate or command them outright. Magic often involves entering altered states of consciousness and performing various esoteric rituals by utilizing symbolism and connecting to spiritual forces. That is a very broad and ambiguous statement, but magic is as diverse as the practitioners themselves. Magic is subtle. It requires patience. Unlike the instantaneous and exaggerated effects of magic in film, true magic is a gradual, introspective process. The dual focus of internal and external transformation is essential, as true transformation begins from within. By aligning your internal state with your external intentions, you can create long-lasting, sustainable, and meaningful change. Magical practices can vary from ceremonial magic, highly structured rituals from systems like the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, Thelma, Solomonic magic, or Wicca, to various forms of folk magic, witchcraft, Christian mysticism, alchemy, and more. Chaos magic is merely one flavor of magic. Other chaos cornetto, please. It swims in a simmering stew with other practices that make up a vast world of occultism. So, what is chaos magic? Chaos magic is a philosophy and a postmodern magical practice that centers around using your own beliefs as a tool to manifest the things you desire. Chaos magic is also pragmatic and results-based. A crude illustration of the chaos approach to magic is, if it works, do it. If it doesn't, f it. Chaos magic doesn't bother with the detailed ceremonial procedures, as it is a big screw you to such formalities. This topic is nuanced, as practitioners can partake in detailed ceremonial procedures so long as it aligns with their overall goal, but not because they are adhering to rigid dogma. It is important to note that chaos magic is not necessarily a magical tradition in its own right, meaning there are no set rules to follow. Instead, it is more of a philosophical perspective on how magic works. I suppose one could say there are specific techniques chaos magicians tend to adopt. Gnosis, working with sigils, creating magical entities, incorporating pop culture magic, and so on. Although these techniques are practiced by many chaos magicians today, these techniques are not intrinsically chaos magic. A chaos magician is practicing chaos magic when they prescribe to chaos magic theory. At the expense of sounding redundant, magical techniques such as working with sigils and servitors are not inherently chaos magic. Many occultists from varying spiritual traditions may work with sigils and servitors, but this does not mean they prescribe to chaos magic theory, nor does it mean they are practicing chaos magic. Well then, what is chaos magic theory? Models of magic. For centuries, occultists have questioned the driving forces and laws behind magic and the paranormal. If a witch casts a spell, a psychic channels messages, and a ceremonial magician evokes spirits or communes with the divine, what constitutes that power? Some may already be familiar with various models of magic that attempt to explain these phenomena. The spirit model of magic suggests that the power of magic comes from spiritual beings or entities. Practitioners may work with spirits, gods, or supernatural forces to achieve their desires. In this model, spirits are objectively real regardless of the practitioner's belief in their existence. The energy model of magic suggests that the power of magic comes from energy. This model explains that there are subtle, non-physical energies that exist and can be manipulated to bring about change in the physical or spiritual realms. The psychological model suggests that the power of magic comes from the practitioner's mind. By combining ritual, symbolism, and belief, the practitioner can affect their psyche and perception, causing physical changes in the external environment. Rather than believing in spirits, the practitioner, working from the psychological model, believes in projections of the subconscious mind. The meta model of magic suggests that the power of magic is unknowable, as we can only experience reality subjectively. Therefore, those who prescribe to the meta model may use any other model of magic at any time as they see fit. There are many other perspectives and models of magic that exist to explain how magic and paranormal phenomena occur. Chaos magic is sometimes placed under the psychological model of magic. However, we would argue that chaos magic adopts the meta model of magic through belief shifting. Chaos magic does not mean disorganized magic. Perhaps one of the biggest misunderstandings about chaos magic that we see is, if an individual is chaotic and disorganized within their magical practice, they must be practicing chaos magic. This is false. Chaos magic is not synonymous with a practice that is chaotic in a sense of disorganization. If one chooses to have a chaotic approach to their magic, that does not necessarily mean they prescribe to chaos magic theory. It encompasses using belief as a tool, belief shifting, the avoidance of dogmatism, deconstructing one's ego by removing limiting beliefs, achieving gnosis, and much more. The term chaos magic can be somewhat misleading. The name derives from the idea of disorder, but from the concept of chaos as a fundamental creative force in the universe. In the context of chaos magic, chaos refers to the underlying unpredictable nature of reality, which can be influenced by the magician's will and belief. In the end, chaos magic is not the messy free-for-all its name might suggest, but a conscious dismantling of dogma in favor of fluid belief and direct experience. It asks us to treat belief as a tool rather than a cage, to explore the mechanics of consciousness with curiosity, instead of clinging to inherited certainty. Chaos magic does not promise easy answers or a tidy spiritual worldview. If anything, it delights in ambiguity, but it offers something far more potent: the freedom to experiment, to question, to create, and to deliberately shape our inner and outer realities. It does not demand that you believe in it. It simply challenges you to try it and see what unfolds. If you want to learn more about chaos magic, then please take a look at our book, Pagan Portals Chaos Magic by Ivy Corvus. Visualize and create your reality with chaos magic. Available from Moonbooks Publishing. Thank you so much for watching. A special thank you as always to our members. You too can become a member and gain early access to videos just like this one. Hit the join button for more information. Subscribe for weekly videos or ring the bell to be notified of when we post, and we will see you next time.